I'm real excited because in a couple weeks I'm actually going to be going on my actual very first moto camping trip. And when I say moto camping trip, I mean I'm taking the bike, I'm putting everything on the bike that I'm going to be using, riding the bike to the campground, staying. I'm just going to stay one night. It's my first time. I don't want to try anything too crazy, and then packing up and coming back. Me and two of my buddies, we all kind of wanted to try this, and so we thought maybe for our first trip we'll go somewhere not so far, just stay one night. So if everything goes bad, it's okay. We can deal with one night. We'll come back the next morning. So I've been researching what all I'm going to need for this trip, and by research I mean watching other YouTube videos, T-Dub's Kid, on what kind of things I may need. Kind of take a couple lists, subtract some things that I don't think I'm going to use, add some things that I prefer, and here's what I've come up with so far. This is a dry bag that I just recently bought on Amazon, and I'm going to put all of this stuff in it, and then that's going to mount on the very top of all my luggage. This is a sleeping bag. It's a cool weather, 10 to 30 degree range sleeping bag. I've had that thing for probably 10 years. I bought this Klymit insulated static recon sleeping pad. I've got a Fillo Pillow. And then since I'm going to a campsite that's going to have power, I'm actually, as a backup, also going to have my heated blanket and extension cord so I can run it. Then I've got my tent. I bought this at Walmart for 25 bucks. It's very small. It says it's a 3-person tent, and I bet 3 people could fit in there if they were really comfortable with each other, but I'm just going to hopefully stay in it by myself. And then here's a camping chair I also bought at Walmart. I think I paid 20 bucks for that chair. It's the kind that, you know, I guess it's relatively comfortable, hopefully, but the main idea is it's pretty small is the reason why I picked that one. So let me get all this stuff stuck in this bag and we'll see what it all looks like. So when I was researching what I wanted, what kind of luggage solution I wanted, I decided not to go with the hard side bags. I went with these Cortech 2.0. They seemed like, you know, if I drop my bike and hit them, they can handle a little bit more movement. But I decided to go with these. What I really like about them is you can strap them over your bike, and then like if I was to stay in a hotel somewhere, I can just pull them up and carry them like this, and I've got all my stuff with me. I don't have to try to come up with a complicated system. But basically, just drop them right over the bike. Now, I also made these. I don't know how well these are going to work. This is 1-inch square tubing that I cut and modified. It's only there because I didn't like. It seemed like the bags would fold in a little bit, and I didn't want any chance of them rubbing against the tires. So these are probably 4 or 5 inches long. I'm going to see how well they work on this trip, but I just set it here. You just toss the bags right over. They've got this little Velcro. It's adjustable. So that keeps them from messing up. Now, the one negative I've already found about using these is I can't access under my seat. There's some storage underneath the seat here. Unfortunately, when these are on, you have to pull these off in order to get under the seat. So that's just something to plan for. Anything that you may need access to, it'd be better to keep in the bag. They come with these little belt clips. The instructions said do not leave these connected to your bike if you're not using the straps, probably because they don't want them blowing around and messing up. So what I did was I hooked them and then I went ahead and ran a zip tie around because I still want to be able to leave them on my bike when I'm not using that. So I'm going to see how well that works. Hopefully that'll keep them from rattling or coming loose. I did the same thing back here. At first, I had, done a couple of other things, and I found, at least as of right now, this seems to be the best place to put them because you want force pulling the bag backwards. You also want something pulling the bag frontwards. If you only have one, the bags will slide forward. If you only have the other, they'll go backwards. So you want to make sure it's as far back on the bike. And, I've got these nice tie down points. I mean, I guess I could have gone to the back of the tie down point, but whatever. We're going to try this. Just for measurement, I have this pretty much going right under there. And then this back one kind of sits on the seat and then loops underneath this mounting bar. So connect that in like that. Also get the other side in. Bam. Done. Now, I did say it's going to be a couple weeks till I go, so I'm not actually trying to load everything up. I'm just trying to get an idea. But I've got, my sleeping and tent type of stuff in that dry bag that's going to go on top. So these two side bags are going to be things that I'm going to use for camping. So it's going to be my clothes, my flashlight, anything to make a fire with, some soap to whatever, a towel to shower with. So I should have enough room between the two of these bags. It just kind of depends on what all kind of activities we want to do while we're there. Now, since it's an overnight trip and we're camping someplace that's not too far outside of town, we actually had planned on, maybe just bringing some snack food like crackers or something, and actually eating our meals in town at a restaurant, so fast food or something like that. So for our first time, we're gonna see how that goes. We can bring little mini stoves or something like that, or something to cook on. But that's gonna be version 2. For now, we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna throw my dry bag up there and see how that mounting process goes. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm pretty excited to try that out. Here we go. Now I have these rock straps. I have two different sizes. I have a shorter size, and then I have a bigger size. I don't know. Glad I got the longer ones. At first, when I ordered them, I didn't even realize there were different sizes. Um, I just ordered, I just went to Amazon and bought some, and then they came in, and I went to use them on my winter camping trip for something else, and I was like, man, I tried to go around something, they weren't long enough, and I thought, these aren't that long. And so when I got back, I looked up, and sure enough, I had bought the shorter ones. So these are definitely a lot heavier duty. Oh yeah, that feels good. That feels solid. I'm going to put another one on the other side. That ought to work. Wouldn't you think? So these other rock straps that I didn't end up using, I'm going to go ahead and just store them inside the tank bag. It's got a little zipper pouch on it because I don't know if I'll need them. May end up needing them on the trip. I'm glad that's kind of nice. This little bag's got that on the front. It's like free storage. Normally I keep the rock straps below the seat. The problem with that is once I get all this gear on, I can't easily remove my seat without removing all my gear. So it makes more sense to store them somewhere where I can easily get to them. Now the next question is, should I do something to these to keep them from flapping around as I ride? I guess I may be able to just tuck them underneath the strap like that. I'll have to try that. Okay, sounds pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I also have this Cortech matching tank bag. It's like the ultra small or the micro or something like that. I don't know. It's really small. It comes with this cell phone holder, which probably 10 years ago would have been useful, but nowadays I have a pretty budget-oriented phone and it doesn't even fit in this case. I ended up putting in here my riding glasses. Then down here, I'm planning on just putting my GoPro accessories. Right now, I don't think I have anything. Well, here, I got a little handle for my GoPro, but I have a GoPro 6 and a GoPro 9. So my 9 is normally what I use to record this kind of stuff with, and then my 6 I'll do my action stuff with. So my 6 will be on my helmet. My 9 I'll just put in here. My extra batteries in here. That's kind of what I'm thinking for this bag. It's not, and the nice thing about this Cortech bag is it's magnetic, so you can just grab it and pull it off, bring it in with you if you don't want someone to gank your stuff, and then you just drop it back on when you're done. The reason I got a micro size one, now they do make these pretty darn big, but I just felt like it was going to feel congested up here with having too much stuff. Like some people have those big tank bags. Also, being magnetic is nice because I can still access my fuel tank just by moving this out of the way. I can still get in there to fill up my gas. So there she is. That's how it's going to look as I'm driving down the road. I don't have all my stuff on there yet, but I have a pretty good idea. I may try to take this thing out tomorrow or the next time there's decent weather and just drive it with all this on there and just see kind of how it feels, make sure it all looks good before going on a real long drive, maybe just a 10-minute drive around the block or something. That dry bag is not that heavy. I can pick it up one-handed. So I'm picturing this shouldn't feel any different than riding with a pillion. I've never ridden with a passenger, so that's not much experience. It should be lighter and easier, so it shouldn't be too hard on the bike at least to haul that much extra weight. So this is all preliminary. I haven't tested it. I don't know how well it's all going to work out, so you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. I'll come back and report what I think, what kind of modifications I'm going to make. I'm sure I'm going to bring stuff that I don't need. I'm sure I'm probably going to bring some stuff that, or forget some things that I should have brought too. So subscribe, and whenever that video goes up, it's going to be at the end of February whenever I actually make the trip. So, give me a week or so to put the video together, and then give you my feedback on how all this stuff is going to work out. Thanks for watching.